car travels 306 miles in 4 hours and 30 minutes. How many miles does it travel per hour? Well, what you want to do is you want to go to the question itself to see what unit of measurement it's talking about, because I want to make sure that my answer is in that unit of measurement and they don't start out that way. So we're doing miles per hour. So I'm going to make a fraction with miles in the numerator and hours in the denominator. So I'm going to set up proportions, and the miles are going to go on the top, hours on the bottom. So 306 miles. Okay, 4 hours and 30 minutes. Well, the hours goes in front of the decimal point. Now for the minutes, you've got to figure out what part of an hour that is. So if you do 30 divided by 60, because there are 60 minutes in an hour, you get 0.5. So it's 4.5 that we're talking about. And then how many miles does it travel per hour? Well, that's 1 hour right there, per hour, because there's no S in there. Okay, so now you cross multiply the numbers that are diagonally across from each other that you know what they are. So 306 times 1, and you divide by the number that's not circled, divided by 4.5. And when you do that, you get 68 miles. Copy machine makes 184 copies in 5 minutes and 45 seconds. How many copies does it make per minute? So again, I'm going to go to the word problem to figure out how I want to set this up. So I've got copies in the numerator and minute in the denominator. So I set up my proportion and go through the problem again. 184 copies. Copies is going on top. 5 minutes, well, that's already what we were talking about, so we just put a 5. And 45 seconds. Now is where we put the decimal, because seconds is not in minutes, and we need it to be in minutes. So 45 seconds. You divide that, 45 divided by 60, because there are 60 seconds in a minute. So 45 divided by 60 is 0.75. So I'm going to put 0.75 here. How many copies does it make per minute? I'm sorry, I meant copies, not miles. In the last problem. Copies per minute, 1 minute. So I'm going to do 184 times 1 divided by 5.75. And that's going to give me 32 copies. It comes out evenly. A light bulb consumes 1,440 watt hours per day. How long does it take to consume 6,840 watt hours? Okay, well, this one's a little bit different than all the other ones. You actually want to use the watt hours and the day. Because it's easier to change hours to days. So they've written it a little bit backwards on this one. 1,440 in 1 day. How long does it take? So we need, it's time, I guess. How long does it take to consume 6,840 watt hours? Okay. There, we don't, I'm sorry, I said that. I need to clear my coffee, I guess. The hours are going on the top. And we don't know this one. Okay, so 6,840 times 1 divided by 1440 is 4.75 Okay, that's 4.75 days. But even if you wanted to be more specific, you could say the number in front of the decimal is whatever you have on the bottom. So 4 days. And this 0.75 here is talking about the hours part, but it's not talking about, it's 0.75 parts of a day. So there are 24 hours in a day. So 0.75 times 24 is 18. So 4 days, 18 hours. That one was more difficult. It actually worked backwards from the previous two examples. Or if they just want to know it in days, the answer would be 4.75. It just depends on if they want it just in days or whether they want you to actually split that apart.